chemistry is the study of carbon and its compounds, except carbon sulfides, carbon carbonates, carbon oxides, and carbon carbides. So these are the exemptions. Apart from the sulfides of carbon, carbonates of carbon, oxides of carbons, and carbides of carbon, other compounds of carbon qualify to be studied in organic chemistry. Today, I'll be taking you through nomenclature of organic compounds. Nomenclature simply means naming. How do we name organic compounds? This is what we shall treat today under the following topics: to obtain alkanes, alkyl groups, classes of carbon, parts of compounds, hydrocarbons, IUPAC nomenclature, and trivia names. Now, to prepare you for this class, I released 2 videos earlier. 1, hydrocarbons, and 2, organic chemistry, detailed explanation and structures. Feel free, make sure you go through that class. I will share links to the videos below. That's the requirement for this class. The first step to understanding naming of organic compound is understanding the first 10 alkanes. Remember, while explaining homologous series, I established that the general formula for alkanes is equals CnH2n plus 2. And how do you know an alkane? Is simply the presence of single carbon to carbon bond throughout, or single carbon to hydrogen bond throughout. That is how you identify alkanes. Now, what is the first member of alkane? The first member of alkane is simply when N is equals 1. And when N is equals 1, we have C1H, 2 times 1, 2, plus 2, 4, H4. So CH4 is the first member of the alkane, and it is named methane. So methane, ANE, you can see the suffix ANE. That is for alkanes. Now, how do we draw CH4? CH4 simply means 1 carbon, 4 hydrogen. Remember, carbon is tetravalent, and in my previous video, I established that the tetravalency of carbon is as a result of hybridization. So if carbon is tetravalent, we have 1 carbon, it means the 4 hydrogen will simply bond around it. In this case, it has become saturated. So this is a saturated hydrocarbon. What will be the second member? The second member will simply be when N is 2, because N represents the number of carbons. So if N is 2, here simply means C2, 2 times 2, 4, plus 2, 6, H6, H6. How do we draw this? It is simply 2 carbon, single bond, H6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what is the name of the second member of the alkane family? This is simply ethane. Ethane. The first number is methane. And methane is the most abundant constituent of natural gas. Most abundant constituent of natural gas. What will be the third member? The third member will simply be when N is 3. So 3 times 2, 6, plus 2, 8, H8. So C3, 1, 2, 3, H8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C3H8. And what is the name of alkane with 3 carbon? It is simply propane. A, the suffix for alkanes. Now, with 4 carbon, what will it be? C4, Now 2 times 4, 8, plus 2, 10, H10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now what is this one called? Butane. Butane. Take note of something. The first one has 1 carbon, second one 2 carbons, 3 carbons, 4 carbons. Now what is the difference in carbon or difference in number of carbon between successive members? 1. Look at hydrogen. The first member has 4 hydrogen, the second one 6, 8, 10. Now what is the difference in number of hydrogen between successive members? It is simply 2, meaning 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen is the difference between successive members. That justifies definition or properties of homologous series, which states that its successive members differ by a CH2 group or by a mass of 14 grams. This implies that the fifth member will be C5H12 and it is called pentane. So pentane is simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The sixth member will simply be C6H14 and it is called hexane. Hexane, A-N-E. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. H14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hexane. Now, how about the seventh? It will simply be C7H16, right? So C7H16. That will simply be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, what is this one called? 5 pentane, 6 hexane, 7th member is heptane. So, heptane. The eighth member will simply be C8H18. 1, difference 2. And what is it called? Octane. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 carbon, others hydrogen. Hydrogen. And the next number will simply be C9H20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So every other thing, hydrogen. And this is called nonane. Nonane. What about the 10th member? C10H22. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So every other part contains hydrogen. So this is decay. These are the first 10 alkanes. Take a close look at them. The first one is methane, CH4, ethane, C2H6, propane, C3H8, butane, C4H10, pentane, C5H12, and so on. Now, if you are asked, an alkane with 8 carbon is referred to as dash. It is simply octane. Now take a look at this. Now that we know the names, formula, and the structures of the first 10 alkane, something you should also know is this. These prefixes, they are very, very important. Very, very important. In fact, I will explain it ahead of time so that when it gets to parts of carbon, I won't explain these prefixes again. When you are naming compounds, we have what we call parent chain or roots, and we have what we call substituents. The substituent contains the functional groups or the alkyl groups, while the root is mainly the longest carbon. Look at something. Once the carbon is 1, you likely arrive at a name, met. M-E-T, meet something. Once we have number of carbons to be 2, you will likely arrive at et something. Once we are naming a compound, whether hydrocarbon or not, or alkanes, and the number of carbon is 3, you will likely arrive at something with a name, prop. Prop will be among the name. Once the number of carbon is 4, but will be among the name. If the number of carbon is 5, pent will be among the name. The other naming continuous. If it's 6 carbon, hes will be among the naming. Any organic compound with 7 carbon, he will be among the name. And any organic compound with 8 carbons, oct will be among the name. And with 9 carbons, none will be among the name. 10 carbons, dec will be among the name. Take note of that. Now look at something else. Top 10 alkanes. Is it well explained? If yes, mission 1/7 accomplished. If no, please start over and make sure you understand. If you still don't, pause and comment below. I'll reply your comment, and if you understand, you can then proceed. Because the mission and the aim is to make sure that you understand naming, and is to make sure that after this video, you need not to be looking for other videos or other materials to understand naming. So, final bus stop to naming of organic compounds. When it comes to reaction, alkanes undergo substitution reaction and combustion reaction. So, generally, hydrocarbons, they bond to form carbon 4 oxide and water. Now, alkanes cannot undergo addition reaction because they have single bond throughout. So no bond to break for you to add an element. So it doesn't. It only undergoes substitution. So meaning you remove one, you add another element. For example, you can remove this hydrogen and add chlorine. In that case, you form something else. You can call this chloroethane. That is not my point. An alkane can lose a hydrogen atom. An alkane can lose a hydrogen atom and to be replaced by another atom. So when an alkane loses a hydrogen atom, it becomes an alkyl. So alkyl groups are gotten from alkanes when a hydrogen atom is lost. So the relationship between alkanes and alkyl is that when an alkane loses a hydrogen, it loses one hydrogen, it becomes an alkyl. And once an alkyl gains one hydrogen, it becomes an alkane. Look at something. This is an alkane, CH4 methane. When it loses one hydrogen, what does it become? It becomes CH3. And what is CH3? CH3 is simply an alkyl. Now, where is this alkyl gotten from? From methane. So the name will simply be methyl. Methyl. When this loses one, it's no longer methane, it becomes methyl. And it is CH3. Now, this is an ethane. When ethane loses one hydrogen, it is no longer ethane, it becomes ethyl. C2H5. Take note of something. Instead of the ANE, we replace it with YL to show that it has lost one hydrogen. It becomes ethyl. Now, this is propane. If it loses one hydrogen, it becomes C3H7. No longer qualified to be called propane, it becomes propyl. Now this is butane. When butane loses one hydrogen, it is no longer C4H10, it becomes C4H9. This becomes butyl. So if the general formula for alkanes is this, alkyls will simply be CnH2n plus 1. Because one hydrogen atom has been lost, so hydrogen is now less 1. So butane becomes butyl. Now pentane, when it loses one hydrogen, it becomes C5H11. So it's no longer pentane, it is now pentyl or pentyl, as you may choose to call it. Hexane, when hexane loses one hydrogen, it becomes C6H13. No longer qualified to be called hexane, it is called hexyl. Now, take note of something. Anytime you are given a question which says, which of the following is an alkane, or is an alkene, or is an alkyne, what you simply do is bring out the general formula, then check. If this has 6 carbons, you simply put C6, H will simply be 2 times 6, 12, plus 2, 14. So for a compound with 6 carbon to be qualified to be called an alkane, it will simply have C6H14. This is C6H13. It's not qualified to be an alkane. Now, what is the difference between it and the alkane? It's simply one hydrogen. So it becomes alkyl. So hexyl. Now, does it make sense to you? If yes, I will mark this as done. Otherwise, go over it again. Now, take a look at what we've done so far. Let's assume you don't know the name of this compound. Fine. But so far, you should already know 3 things about this compound. 1, it has single bond throughout. There is no double bond. There is no other compound apart from carbon and hydrogen. This means you agree with me that it is a hydrocarbon, and 2, it is an alkane. 3, you see it has CH3, it has CH3. What does it imply? It has an alkyl group, and this is called methyl. This is another methyl. If you understand these 3 things, therefore, you are following this class. This takes us to the classes of carbon, or classification of carbon. In alkanes or organic compounds, we have 4 classes of carbon. 1, primary carbon. And it is also represented as 1 and 0 degree on top. We have secondary carbon, which is 2, 0 prime. Or we have tertiary carbon, and we have quaternary carbon. Now, what is primary carbon? What is secondary carbon? What is tertiary carbon? And what is quaternary carbon? If I give you this, CH3. So take note, this is the same thing as CH3. Means 1 carbon, 3 hydrogen. Now this carbon, does it have any other carbon attached to it? No. It is called primary carbon. Now look at this. Given this carbon, this same carbon, how many other carbon is directly linked to it? 1. It is primary carbon. This takes us to the definition. Primary carbon is a carbon or carbon atom that has 0 or 1 carbon directly linked to it. So if there is no other carbon atom directly linked to the carbon, or you have just one carbon linked to it, it is called primary carbon. You will understand this as we proceed. Now take a look at something. If we add something like this, carbon, hydrogen, and carbon, hydrogen, hydrogen, and hydrogen. So this is CH3. You can simply write CH3 here or expand it. And you have this. Look at something. This carbon has just one carbon directly linked to it. This carbon has only one carbon directly linked to it. But this carbon has two carbons linked to it directly, which are this one is linked to it and this other one is linked to it. Therefore, it is referred to as secondary carbon. This is a primary carbon. So secondary carbon is any carbon that has two other carbons linked to it directly. Only two other carbons. So this one is secondary, this is linked to it, this is linked to it. You understand better now. So let's proceed. Let's say we have normal carbon, hydrogen, hydrogen. We proceed. We have carbon, hydrogen, 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 carbon, hydrogen, hydrogen, and hydrogen. Now look at something. Taking a look at this particular carbon, this one, how many other carbons are linked to it directly? How many? This is linked to it, 1. This is directly linked to it, 2. This is directly linked to it, 3. Therefore, this is a tertiary carbon. So tertiary carbon is a carbon which has 3 other carbons directly linked to it. So this one has one linked to it, another one linked to it, another one linked to it. Now look at something. If you decide to extend it to have carbon, hydrogen, hydrogen, and hydrogen. Now look at this carbon. How many other carbons are linked to it directly, not indirectly? This is indirectly linked to it, but directly. They are 1, this is linked to it, 2, 3, 4. So this carbon is called quaternary carbon. It has 4 carbons linked to it. So that is it on primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary carbon. We are one step closer to actually naming of organic compounds. And also, the knowledge of these parts will either make or mar your career in nomenclature. Another thing you should note is that to understand these parts properly, you need to have watched my video on homologous series, functional group, and archive group. If you understand this part very well without that video, fine. Otherwise, you need to watch the video. Look at something. Every organic compound you see, it has 2 main parts. One is the parent chain, or you can call it roots. Parent chain or roots, R-O-O-T. And we have the substituents. Now, the parent is not a problem because it is simply the continuous chain or the longest chain. That is the parent. This will not give you a major challenge in naming. Look at the substituents. The substituents are prefixes or suffixes used while naming organic compound. This brings us to English. In English, what does prefix mean? It means words that come before. For example, if I say position and I add pre, what do I have? Preposition, right? So it has changed. Now if I have position and I add al, what is that? Positioner. So pre is the prefix, al is the suffix. This also applies to organic compounds. Now what are the substituents? Substituents can be the archive groups or the functional groups. Now let's begin with prefix. Most time, the prefix, they have to do with the substituted archive group. Now look at the functional group aspect. Arcane must end with ane. This is the suffix. So every arcane must end with ane. For example, ethane that I just drew, you see ANE, that shows that it is an alkene. So functional group are mainly the suffix. Alkene, they must end with ENE. I treated alkene as well under hydrocarbons. Alkynes must end with YNE. Alcohols must end with OL. Alkanone, propanone, these are alcohols, they must end with OL, which I treated in the last video under homologous series. Aldehydes are also called alkanans, they must end with AL, alkanans. Alkanone or ketone, they will end with ONE, alkanone or ketones. Carboxylic acid, they will end with oic acid. Butanoic acid, propanoic acid. You see? So, OI is, for example, propanoic. Prop means it has 3 carbon. That already suggests to you. If I say butanoic acid, but already tells you that the acid has 4 carbon. So life is beginning to be sweet, right? If I say ethanoic, it shows that it has 2 carbon and it is carboxylic acid, oic acid. Makes a lot of sense. Now esters, they end with OH, alkyl alkanoate. So if I say ethyl ethanoate, it simply means that it has an ethyl group and it has the OH group, ester. So at least it sends a message to you. Now look at something else. When you have halogen group like fluorine, chlorine, iodine attached, in that case, they form a new name. You can't say chlorine methane. No, it's not correct. Instead, you say chloromethane. So when chlorine is added or attached to a compound, you name it as chloro. Chloro should be in the name. If fluorine is added, you don't mention fluorine, you mention fluoro. Fluoro should be the name. If bromine is added, bromo should be the name. And if iodine is added, iodo should be there. Look at something else. If these other guys are added to compound OH and it is not added as the functional group, it's just one of the chain or one of the branches, OH will be called hydrogen, NO2 will be called nitro, NO will be nitroso, and NH2 will be called amino. Now the final thing, when you are given prefixes or the same branches and it repeats, you use tri, di or tetra depending on the repetition. Look at a good example. Here you have CH3, here you have CH3, and this is your longest chain. Therefore, this simply becomes dimethyl. So di means 2, methyl, why? CH3. So CH3 is methyl, it's gotten from methane. So in this compound, dimethyl must be in the name. We don't care to know what it is, but we know that dimethyl must be in the name because it has 2 methyl. The one that has 3 of same name, we use tri, 4, tetra. So take note of all this. And I advise you start this video again from beginning to this point so that you understand all the background. Because the next we shall be doing is naming proper. We started from the bottom, now we are here. So the next is hydrocarbons. Remember, I told you that organic chemistry is divided into hydrocarbons and non-hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are compounds containing carbon and hydrogen alone, and non-hydrocarbon contains carbon, hydrogen, and other elements. How do we name hydrocarbons? I have a hint here. The first step is identify the functional group. Step 2, find out the longest carbon. Step 3, number the carbon. Step 4, check for branched carbon. And step 5, combine the name. So you can cram this shortcut or understand this shortcut. For naming hydrocarbon, it is FG, LC, NC, BC, and C. Or we can say C, combine, not carbon, combine. CO. So meaning FLNBC. That is the shortcut. Now, how do we apply it? First, let's look at compound 1. Identify the functional group. Looking at this compound, it contains just carbon and hydrogen. What does that mean? It is a hydrocarbon. 2, all the bonds are single. What does it mean? It means here we have hydrocarbon with single bonds, and a hydrocarbon with single bond is referred to as dash alkane. So it is an alkane. And what is the functional group of alkane or the suffix? It is simply ANE. Step 1 done and dusted. Step 2, let's find out the longest carbon. So this has a straight chain. And how many carbons do we have? 1, 2, 3. So 3 carbons, straight chain. What is that? That is prop. Remember when we are talking about prefix. So 2 carbon, S, 1 mid, 3 is prop. So you notice the background is beginning to make sense. So there is prop here, counting the number of carbons. Look at the 4th step. Is there any branch carbon? No. There is no branch chain, no branch carbon. So this step out. Combine. So how do we combine this? Remember, the functional group serves as the prefix. The alkyl group or the number of carbon will serve as the prefix. So this becomes prop A. Simple. So don't assume you don't already know the name, because I've already taught you the first 10 alkanes. Now let's see the next one. Looking at this, it contains carbons and hydrogen alone. What does it imply? It is a hydrocarbon. Having known that, looking at the bonds, how many bonds do they have? Single bonds. So hydrocarbons with single bonds are equals alkanes. So this is an alkane. Now, what is the longest carbon chain? Longest carbon. We look at this. Longest carbon, you don't need to count. Longest carbon doesn't mean all the carbons. It means how many carbons can you count straight? That is what it means. So here we have 1, 2, 3. Correct. If you can choose 1, 2, 3, which is continuous. So let's do it this way. When you draw straight like this, you touch 3 carbons without branch. If you draw another straight like this, you also draw 3 carbons. So anyhow you choose to look at it, it has 3 carbon as the longest continuous chain. And what does 3 carbon suggest to us? Prop. So this is functional group A, prefix, prop. What else? Number the carbon. That is the 3rd step. So since we chose this, let's number this carbon. We can choose to number 1, 2, 3, or you can choose to say 1, 2, 3. Since it is an alkane, you can start the numbering where you like. Having numbered, what else? Okay, if you are using these 3 carbons, you can say 1, 2, 3. But let's work with straight chain. We'll see other scenarios later. So 3. 4th step. Is there any branch chain or branch carbon? Yes, there is a branch. So what is the branch? This is simply the branch. And if you chose to number this way, this will also be the branch. Anyhow you number it, the branches are the same. Don't worry, don't overthink. We'll get to all that. So this is the branch. And what is this branch? It is 1 carbon and 3 hydrogen, which is CH3. So when you see CH3, what comes to your mind? 1 carbon, 1 methane minus 1 carbon. And what is that? Methyl. What is that? An alkyl group. So we have methyl. Now look at something. This methyl, what position is it? Methyl is in carbon 2. And this carbon is a tertiary carbon, right? Because it has 3 other carbons linked to it directly. Tertiary carbon. So this methyl is in carbon 2. So it has to be 2 methyl. While naming, numbers and alphabet, use dash to separate them. Numbers and numbers, use comma to separate them. So this methyl is in carbon 2. You need to specify that. What else? Combine the name. So combining, this is already suffix, prop to know the name, and this is methyl group attachment. So the complete name is, we bring out the attachment to methyl, then the chain, the prefix, prop, the functional group alkane, A. So this is simply 2-methyl-propane. That is the name. Do you understand at all? If you understand, trust me, I'll be very, very happy, because I'm trying to do everything possible to make you understand. So, if you don't understand this, I will explain this slower and more detailed, so it will enable you to understand this and this in case you are lost. It has many carbons and many hydrogen. This compound can be written as CH3, meaning 1 carbon, 3 hydrogen, dash CH3. So 1 carbon, 3 hydrogen. Okay, this way. Hydrogen. So CH3. 1 carbon, 3 hydrogen. Then here CH3. So in case you are given in this form, you can bring it out in this form. CH3, C, H, C, CH3, C, H, like that. So this is a hydrocarbon. And the next step is functional group. It is a hydrocarbon with single bonds throughout. Therefore, it is an alkane. So functional group, alkane. And what will alkane end with? ANE. Suffix. The second one is longest carbon, longest continuous carbon. Look at this. If we try to do this continuously this way, what is the longest carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4. Longest chain is 4 carbon. 4. Now, if we choose to do it this way, like this, continuous, like this, what is the longest? 3. Now, if we choose to do like this, what is the longest chain? 4. So if you come this way, or you choose to come this way, like this, what is the longest? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So anyhow you look at it, the longest continuous chain is 4. So, which means we are talking about both as prefix to the end. Something else. Number the carbon. Number the carbon. Now, we have different ways to draw the chain. So the way that is suitable for me is to just use this 4 straight carbon, since 4 is the longest, instead of bending. So I'll choose this 4 as my longest chain. Then I'll start numbering from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I can start numbering from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The truth is, anyhow you number this straight chain, you should be able to arrive at the same answer. Yes. When we are dealing with other functional groups, I will tell you how to number. But so long as it is an alkane, you are safe. So let's choose this numbering. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've numbered the carbon, we've identified the functional group. Now, is there any branch carbon? BC? Yes, we have BC. What are the BC? This guy and this guy. So methyl is one BC. Another BC is CH3, which is another methyl. Now remember what I told you. If you have 2 repeated branches or alkyl group, we use di. 2 repeated group, we use di. So methyl simply means we have 2 methyl. So dimethyl. Now that you know that it is dimethyl, but this methyl, where are they located? Because we have 4 carbons. Which of the carbons do we have the methyl? The first methyl is in carbon 2, as you can see here, second carbon. The second methyl is in the third carbon. So we have in carbon 2 and we have in carbon 3. So therefore, representing it, it is simply, you say 2, 3 dash dimethyl. And look at, it is both 4 carbon and it's an alkane, giving us butane when you combine. So dimethyl butane. So if you say this is 2, 3 dimethyl butane, you are correct. Now, do you understand? Let's look at other examples. Now, when you see structures, you need not be scared. The structure should be scared of you and not you being scared of the structure, because you are surely going to name the structures. So take a look at this. Number 1, functional group. So this compound contains just carbon and hydrogen, which means it is a hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon. Now, it contains 1 bond throughout, single bond. This means it is an alkane. And it will end with ANE, suffix. The next step is the longest carbon chain. What is the longest carbon chain? So let's count the chains and see which is the longest. We have different options. The first option is, let's count straight. Before then, when you are given something like this, learn how to expand the structures to identify all the components. So this CH3 is carbon, 1 hydrogen, another hydrogen, another hydrogen. It comes down to CH2, meaning 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen. So it goes, links to 1 carbon and 2 hydrogen. 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen. It goes again, links to 1 carbon and 1 hydrogen. So 1 carbon, 1 hydrogen. So this goes down, links to 1 carbon and 2 hydrogen. So carbon, hydrogen, and hydrogen. It goes down, links to 1 carbon and 3 hydrogen. So 1 carbon, 1, 2, 3. Then this one carbon and 1 hydrogen continues and links to 1 carbon and 3 hydrogen. So 1, 2, 3. Now don't rush. After this, be happy with yourself. You are doing an amazing job. You observe what is the longest chain. So you can choose to start counting from here. Once you count straight like this, how many carbons do you have? 4. Let's see another method. If you start this way continuously, continuous, it can bend, but it should be continuous. It should not form something like this, branch, or something like this. So long you are just going straight is correct. So straight like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 carbons. Now we have another way to count. Let's try this method. If we do it like that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons. If we count this way, like this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. If we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the longest chain we've gotten so far is 6. So we are going with the longest carbon chain. And once carbon is 6, what is that? Hes. So we have a prefix hes. Alkane, ANE, hes, longest carbon. What else? Number the carbon. So we are working with this chain. So let's number the carbon in this chain. If we are starting from here, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what is this? This is CH3, which is an alkyl group, or you simply say methyl. Let's start numbering from here. Numbering from here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something happens. Observe something. When you start numbering from here, this methyl group is in carbon 4, the 4th carbon. Now, if you start numbering from here, this methyl group is in carbon 3. Take note of something. When you are numbering carbon, work with the numbering that gives the methyl group or the functional group the lowest number. This numbering gave it 4, numbering from here gave it 3. So we work with the one that gives it the smallest number. So we are working with this numbering. So after numbering, is there a branch chain? Yes, we've already identified a methyl group as the branch, which is CH3. So there is a methyl group or attachment. So we know that there is a methyl, which is an alkyl group. Now, what is the position of this methyl group? It's in carbon 3 because we are working with the lowest numbering. So meaning we have 3 methyl. The next step is combine. So let's combine the 3 things we've observed. So the methyl will come. So we have 3 methyl. To show that the methyl is in carbon 3, has prefix, N suffix, which is the functional group. So this is simply 3 methyl hexane. As simple as that. Now, 5. As we progress, we should be able to answer smartly. We should be able to look at compounds and just name them without much work. So if you've gotten to that level following my explanation so far, then we can name this by looking at it. 1, it is a hydrocarbon. 2, it is an alkane. 3, let's count the longest chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Counting this straight, 1, 2, 3, 3. Counting from here down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So anyhow we look at it, the longest chain is 6. So I will just go with this straight numbering. Now number the carbons. I will start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, 6 is hes and alkane is A. So ANA prefix, hes suffix, prefix. Now look at something. Is there a branch? Yes. In fact, we have 3 branches. 3 branches. Look at this. 1 branch, another branch, and 3 branch. Now, the good news is that the 3 branches are similar. And what are they? Methyl, methyl, methyl. This means we have methyl, another methyl, another methyl. Now, what did I tell you about 3 repeated alkyl group? You use tri instead of writing methyl, methyl, methyl. We simply say tri, methyl. Now we've done 3 things, A, hes, and trimethyl. But we need to know the position of this methyl group. So I will go with this numbering because number 2 gave us 2 groups. It gave us the smallest numbering with more of the functional, with more of the alkyl group. So in carbon 2 we have 2 methyl group. In carbon 4 we have 1 methyl group. So it means the methyl group are 1 in carbon 2, another one in carbon 2, another one in carbon 4. So we specify that here to have 1 in carbon 2, 1 in carbon 2, 1 in carbon 4 dash. So 2, 2, 4 trimethyl. Now we have everything that we need. The alkyl group, their position, the longest carbon chain, and the functional group. So we combine this to have hexane. We add these ones to have 2, 2, 4 dash to separate number and alphabet. Trimethyl hexane. So this is 2, 2, 4 trimethyl hexane. Now the question is, do you understand? This is a hydrocarbon and alkane. Let's look at the longest chain. Counting straight, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. First we have A suffix 6. Counting this way, we have 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Counting this way, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. What other way can we count? No way. So the longest carbon chain is 6. And I will choose to go with the straight chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what is 6? S. Yes. Now what else? Now that I've chosen this chain, let me number the chain. So I can number this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can number the other way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 4. Is there any branch carbon? Yes, there is a branch. And what is the branch? This is the branch. Now, identifying the branch, this means we cannot go with any of the numbering. We can just choose one. And which one are we going with? The one that gives this branch the lowest numbering. Counting from here, this branch will be in carbon 3. Counting from the other way around, this branch will be in carbon 4. Therefore, we have to go with the one that gives it carbon 3. So the branch is in carbon 3. What is the branch? This branch is 2 carbon, 5 hydrogen. That is C2H5. Now what is C2H5? C2H5 is simply an ethane minus 1 carbon. So this means this is an ethyl. Ethane is C2H6. Since 1 carbon is missing, it is an ethyl. So we have an ethyl as the branch, and this branch is in carbon 3, which gives us 3 ethyl. 3 ethyl hexane. That is the name of this compound. Now take a very good look at it. It is simply a hydrocarbon with double bond. Wow! So this means we are talking about an alkene. Since it is not ENE, it's double bond hydrocarbon. Therefore, the functional group is ENE. Longest carbon chain. This is simply a straight chain. So the longest carbon chain is 4. Therefore, both. Now, let's number the carbon. Number the carbons. Numbering from here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Numbering from here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The functional group is in what carbon? If you are using this numbering, double bond is here, the second carbon. If you are using this numbering, after the second carbon, we have double bond. This means any of the numbering will work. So the double bond is in carbon 2. 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, what is the name of this compound? But and in. Combining here, we already have butane. True or false? True. And now, what is the position of the functional group? Is carbon 2. So this is 2 butane. Simple. Or you simply say both dash 2 in. Any numbering you use, it shows that the double bond is in carbon 2. It shows that the double bond is in carbon 2. So 2 between or both 2 in. That is the name of that compound. To do well in organic chemistry, what you simply need is an open mind. Your mind needs to be open in the sense that you should be open to change, and 2, don't let anything confuse you. When you see something, what you should have is open mind, analytic mind. Try to analyze, not just to give up. This is too long, this is too hard, this is too simple. This is the reason why a lot of persons don't like, they fail maths, they fail chemistry. Not because all these things are difficult. After all, those of us teaching you, if we didn't understand, we won't be able to teach you. So it's simply because your mind is closed. you just see this, you are not thinking of making attempt, you are just thinking of giving up. Ah, this is too long, no, 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 you just give up. It's a bad spirit. Once you see questions, have this approach. What is this? Start from somewhere. When you are confused, we should know that, okay, this is where you are confused. Is that okay? That being said, remember in my hydrocarbon video, I explained that hydrocarbons are divided into alkane, aliphatic hydrocarbons and aromatic hydrocarbons. Aliphatic hydrocarbons are the ones that have straight chain or branch chain, which means they are divided into alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. And aromatic hydrocarbons, they are benzenes and benzene derivative, where I give a lot of benzene derivative. After this session, I'll give you some diagram of benzene derivatives or benzene compounds. I'll also draw some cycloalkanes or alkenes and cycloalkanes for you, because alkanes can also be in form of cycle. I will do that, but this is where I'm aiming at. I told you that the general formula for alkenes, ENA, is CnH2n, which means an alkene cannot have one carbon. If it's having one carbon, it will be CH2, which is impossible. So the first member of the alkene is the one with two carbons, and that is C2H4, which we have here, 1, 2, 1, 2. And the identity for alkene or the functional group is double bond. This means this is the first member of alkene, and it is ethene. Ethene. So the difference between alkenes, and alkynes naming, or the first 10 members, is difference in the number of carbon and hydrogen. That is all. Once you follow this formula, so long it has 2 carbons and 4 hydrogen, it is simply ethene or alkene. Now, the next member is obviously C3H, 3 times 2, 6. So C3H6. And this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is correct. So this is the second member of the alkene family, and it has 3 carbons. It is obviously propene. So alkane with 3 carbon is propane, A-N-A. Alkene with 3 carbon is E-N-E, propene. Then alkene with, this has 4 carbon. This will be what? Butene, which is C4H, 2 times 4, H8. 5 carbon will be pentene, hexene, nonene, decene. So the functional group ends with E-N-E. How about alkyne? I told you that the general formula for alkynes is CnH2n minus 2. Meaning the first member has 2 carbon. There is no methane like the alkane family. So the first member has 2 carbons, C2. Hydrogen will be how many? Now this is why you don't have alkyne with 1 carbon. If carbon is 1, you have C1, H, 2 times 1, 2 minus 2, 0, H0. It means you just have carbon, which is not a hydrocarbon. The hydro is out of it. So C2, 2 times 2, 4, minus 2, 2, so H4. So 2 carbon, 4 hydrogen, which is very correct because this is triple bond. The functional group of alkynes is triple bond, and the suffix is YNE. Alkene is ENE, like you've seen. So this is ethane. Now here, 3 carbon, it will be C3H. 3 times 2, 6, minus 2, 4. H will be 4. C3H4 is ethane. Ethane, second member. The third member is propane or propene, YNE. Butane, pentane, fifth member, pentene, and so on. So that is it. Alkane, alkene, alkyne. That is how they roll. Now, by the time they start having branch chain, they will start numbering. Is the branch a methyl group? Okay, methyl something, dimethyl, ethyl something. Like you can see, the name is so far with the branches. That is basically it. Now look at something. Look at this compound. It is a hydrocarbon, obviously. 2. The longest chain is 4 carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. I will choose to go with this straight chain. So we know that it is alkene, ENE, surface, 4 carbon as the longest chain. So which is both. Preface. Now look at something else. Number the carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You ask yourself, which of the numberings are we going to use? First, we know that the functional group is what? Double bond, and that is what? Alkene. So we go with the numbering that will give the functional group the lowest number. The one that will give the functional group the lowest number is here. So the functional group is in carbon 1, which is 1-ene. Sure, the functional group is in carbon 1, 1-ene. And is there a branch? Yes, there is a branch. What is the branch? The branch is here, CH3. And what is CH3? We're already used to that. It is methyl. So combining, and the methyl is in which carbon? Since you are using this numbering, the methyl is in carbon 3. So carbon 3 methyl. So combining this both 1-ene, both 1-ene, 3 methyl. So 3 methyl both 1-ene, or 3 methyl butene, because without the methyl this is simply butene. So 3 methyl butene or 3 methyl but 1-ene, any of them is correct. I want to tell you something else. This is very, very important. Anytime you have 2 functional groups, your numbering of carbons must contain the 2 functional group. We no longer work with the longest chain. Let me repeat. Anytime you have 2 carbons, the numbering must contain, anytime you have 2 functional groups, the numbering must contain the 2 functional groups. We don't care which one is the longest carbon or not. We must do it to contain the 2 functional groups. Example, look at this. Given this compound, the longest chain is obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it will not give the 2 functional group a very low number. It will not really carry the 2 of them. So we have to do a numbering that will give this functional group lowest number, because we have double bond here, we have double bond here. This means, as a rule, this has to be our longest chain. We don't mind, we won't use here because it won't give the functional group low numbers. If you are using this, functional group will be as high as 3, as high as 5. So remember, your numbering must give the carbon with the functional group a very low number. So meaning, we start counting from here, or we start counting from here. So we will choose this numbering. So the numbering must contain the functional group, and 2, it must give the functional group the lowest numbers. In that case, our longest carbon chain is 4, that is both, and the functional group is alkene, so that is ENE as surface. Now let's number the carbons. That gives us, let's count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Counting from here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I will prefer this numbering 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know why? It gives the carbon atom a very low number, and as well gives the branch another low number. Therefore, we go with this numbering. Going with this numbering, we have 1-ene, 2 of us. Ene represent alkene, double bond. So we have double bond in carbon 1, right? We have another one in carbon 4. True or false? True. So we have 4-ene. This means we have 2-ene. When you have 2-ene or 2 of similar, what did I tell you? it becomes di. So in times in is diene. Diene. And what are the position? Carbon 1 and carbon 4. So 1, 4, diene. The next one, is there a branch carbon? Yes. What is the branch? This is the branch. What does it represent? C2H5. What is that? An alkyl group, ethyl. Now, what is the position of the ethyl group? It's in carbon 2. So the ethyl group is in carbon 2. So 2 ethyl. What next? Let's combine the name. What do we have? We simply have 2 ethyl, but 1,4-diene, but 1,4-diene. So 2 ethyl, but to show butane, 1,4-diene, meaning we have 2 in. That is the name of this compound. Like I said, you need an open mind to understand. Let's go to the next one. Look at this very well. This is a hydrocarbon. True or false? True. What is the functional group of this hydrocarbon? It is simply an alkyne. And how do you represent an alkyne? It is simply YNE. Because alkyne possess triple bond. So YNE. Surface. What is the longest chain? We must start counting from here because this is the only number that will give this functional group the lowest number. Any other place we start from, it will give this functional group a high number. So counting from here, we can choose to have this chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyhow we look at it, we have 6 carbon. What does that mean? Hes. Prefix. Now, number the carbons to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm choosing this chain. We've numbered the carbon. What is the position of this functional group? It's in carbon 2. And what is the functional group? Ine. Alkyne. So this alkyne is in carbon 2. We simply mean we have 2 ine. 2 ine. Take note of that. What else? Is there a branch carbon? There is a branch. This is the branch. What is this branch? Methyl. The methyl is in which of the carbons? It's in carbon 5, as you can see. So is that 5 methyl? Yes. 5 methyl. Is that all? Yes. What next? Combine. So combining these two, prefix and suffix, we have hes, 2, ine. Numbers and alphabet need to be separated with dash. 5 methyl. So this is 5 methyl hes 2 ine. Remember earlier I told you that the knowledge of the alkyl group is so important. So far, you've seen the importance of the alkyl group. You will see more of that as we progress. This takes us to this compound. Looking at this compound, no branch chain. It's simply straight chain. What is the functional group? It is a hydrocarbon and the functional group is YNE. This is the surface and alkyne. What else? Let's name the number. Let's count the carbon chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. What is that? Hept. Prefix. Now let's number the carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can also choose the other way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. Which of the numbering should we go with? Going with this first one, the functional group will simply be in the first carbon. Going with the second numbering, the first functional group will be in the third carbon. So we prefer to go the one that will give at least one of the functional group a low number. So we go with this one. Going with this one, where we have one ion, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In carbon 5, we have another ion, 5 ion. What does it mean? It contains 2 ions, and 2 of the same is referred to as what? Diane. And the diane, one of them is in carbon 1, the other one is in carbon 5. So we have 1, 5, diane. Diane or Diana. So Diane. So that is basically it. Combining here, we have hept. So hept 1, 5 Diane. That's all. No methyl group, no attachment, no ethyl group. So that is it. Hept 1, 5 Diane. That is the name of that compound. Now, look at something else. An alkane or aliphatic hydrocarbons are not just straight chains. You can have cycle or ring chain. It's a hydrocarbon. It is single bond throughout, and each of the carbon they have 4 bonds. This is simply an alkane. It is a circular form and it has 3 carbons. So this is propane. Since it is in a circular form, this is cyclopropane. Similarly, this is a hydrocarbon, single bond throughout, and the bonding in the carbons are complete. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. That is pentane, cyclopentane, cyclopropane. So if it were 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, with others, hydrogen, we call this cyclobutane. So alkanes can as well be in circular form. The ones in circular form, they are usually 2 hydrogen less. That is the difference between the straight chain and the circular alkanes. Now, these are benzene derivatives. While I was explaining hydrocarbons, I explained many derivatives of benzene. A few of them are repeated here. Benzene is simply aromatic hydrocarbon, and it contains C6H6. It contains the benzene ring, and there is resonance in benzene. Watch my hydrocarbons video. You understand what I'm saying. Now, benzene can be in this form or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with alternating double bonds. So the alternating double bond, and in resonance you have something like this as benzene in resonance form, because the alternating double bond can start from anywhere. It can start from here or from here. That is it. Now, when chlorine is attached to benzene as a derivative, it becomes chlorobenzene. Remember, I told you that for the halogen groups, you name chlorine as chloro, bromine as bromo, iodine as iodo, fluorine as fluoro. So chlorobenzene. If it were bromine, it will be bromobenzene. Look at it. Under benzene, you see ENE. So it obviously shows that benzene has double bond and it's sp2 hybridized. When C2H5 is attached to benzene, you have ethyl benzene. Of course, C2H5 is an ethyl group. When you add 1 to have C2H6, you should have an ethane. When NO2 is attached to benzene, you have nitrobenzene. NO2 is named nitro, like I explained earlier in those small tables. Look at this. This is simply COOH. And under my video on homologous series, I told you that COOH is carboxylic acid or oic acid. So this attached to benzene gives us benzoic acid. Then here, you see this is CHO. And the CHO functional group stands for alkanans. So this is an alkyl group attached to benzene to give you benzaldehyde, because alkyls are also referred to as aldehydes. This is an alkyl group, CO, attached to benzene to give you acetophenone, ONE, meaning it is an alkanone. Now, when N is attached to benzene, this is the nitrile group. So benzene, benzonitrile, C triple bond N is a nitrile group. Now, when the OH group is attached to benzene, we have phenol, something like hydroxybenzene. Then OCH3, you call this anisole. These are benzene derivatives. So far, we've done a lot on hydrocarbon, both aliphatic and aromatic. Now, let's name non-hydrocarbons. IUPAC stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. It's a body for where they've agreed for standard name of organic compounds. The namings we'll be doing so far for hydrocarbons, they are IUPAC names. And the names which are derived from here, they are also IUPAC names. After this, I'm going to give you a handful of compounds and their trivial names so that you know what trivial names are. For non-hydrocarbons, some of those compounds, they also have trivial names, like you see slake lime, caustic soda, washing soda, baking soda. They are common names for compounds. Now, let's proceed. Looking at this compound, if not for this chlorine, it would have become an alkane, in fact, propane. This means this compound is an alkane and a halogen group. Halogen groups are alkanes containing chlorine, bromine, fluorine, iodine, and astatine. Look at something. Since it is halogens and alkanes, we simply call these haloalkanes. These are haloalkanes. Looking at this as well, bromine, fluorine, it is simply alkanes and halogen. So A and B are haloalkanes. How do you name haloalkanes? It is nothing new and it is nothing surprising. Simply chlorine, chloro, bromine, bloro, fluorine, fluoro, iodine, iodo. That is it. Apart from that, we follow the normal method. These are the hints. Identify the functional group. This is a haloalkane. So, surface A. Now, what is the longest chain? The longest chain is 1, 2, 3, 3, which gives us the prefix prop. Prop. Now, there is a halogen group. Yes. What position is the halogen group? Because we need to number the carbon. So any numbering we use is okay because it will give the halogen group the same number. So this is carbon 2. The chlorine is attached to carbon 2, meaning we have 2 chloro. What else? That is it. So, is there any branch? No, there is no branch. It is simply straight chain, which means combining, this is propane, 2 chloropropane. This is the name for this guy. Now, ask yourself a question. What if there was a branch here? Let's say CH3. If there is a branch here, this is simply methyl, right? Yes, it is methyl. So methyl will simply be here. What is the position of this methyl? It's on carbon 2 as well. So it will be 2-methyl, 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 2-chloropropane. That would have been the name. So we've named this. How about this? Haloalkane, we know. So surface A, N, E. What is the longest chain? 1, 2, 3, 4. So prefix both. Now, let's number the carbon chain. This will give us 1, 2, 3, 4. From this way, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, to you, which numbering would you prefer to use? Personally, this numbering is okay because it captures two different groups and give them a low number. So it's obviously a better numbering. So since the longest carbon chain is 4, we have both. Now, we are using here, this means we have the halogen group in carbon 2 and we also have it in carbon 4, following this numbering. Now, looking at this numbering, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which of the numberings gives at least a functional group the smallest number? This will give at least one bromine a small number. Starting from this, the functional group we start from carbon 2. So since we have the one that is on carbon 1, we simply go with this numbering since it gives at least one of them the lowest numbering. Wisdom, just relax and analyze. So this means in carbon 1, we have bromo. In carbon, we are using this numbering 1, 2, 3, 4. So in carbon 3, we have another bromo. So 3 bromo. In the same carbon 3, we have fluoro, meaning we have 3 fluoro. So we have 1 bromo, we have 3 bromo, we have 3 fluoro. Let's combine. Look at something. When you are naming the halogen family, you start alphabetically. The ones with the lowest alphabet will come first. Bromine is B, fluorine is F. So B comes before C. We arrange it that way. Look at something else. We have 2 different bromo. Can we simply say dibromo? Yes. So dibromo. And the positions are 1, 3. So we have 1, 3 dibromo to replace this. We have 3 fluoro. And we have butane. What next? Let's combine. So this gives us 1, 3 dibromo. Then fluoro is in carbon 3. 1, 3 dibromo, 3 fluoro, butane. So the naming may seem long, but it seems so understandable. The same concept for everything. It requires patience and open mind. You get it just right. So that is it. So now let's look at this other one. We are given this compound. Let's assume this is the first time you are seeing this compound. There is no hint. All you need to do is follow this hint. There is no hint in the sense that you don't know the particular topic we are dealing with. Now, how do you find your way out? To find your way out, you need to have in mind everything we've discussed so far under hydrocarbons and my organic chemistry video and what I've explained so far in the background of this video. Once you refresh your brain with that, then you start following these rules. The first thing is identify the functional group. Looking at this compound, is it a hydrocarbon? Obviously, no. It is not a hydrocarbon because apart from hydrogen and carbon, we have another element which is O. So what is the functional group? Look at something. Carbon, carbon, carbon. And from carbon, you see a bond going to O and H. OH. So this is OH. What is the OH functional group? The OH functional group is simply under alkanones. Alkanones or alcohols. That is the OH functional group. How do you know alkanones? You see the carbon. From carbon, there is one bond to oxygen, and from oxygen, there is one bond to hydrogen. Oxygen can carry 2 bonds, 1, 2, so it is complete. Now, don't confuse it with something like this. Something like this, you see, from carbon, direct 2 bonds to oxygen. So it is different from carbon, 1 bond to oxygen and 1 bond to hydrogen. So in any way, this is an arcanol. Now, what is the suffix for arcanols? Like I explained earlier, it is simply OL. So for arcanols, we have OL suffix. The next thing is identify the longest carbon chain. Now, 1, 2, 3. The longest chain is 3. So prop as the prefix or propan. Next, number the carbon. So we number the carbon in a way that it will give the carbon carrying the functional group the lowest number. So counting from here, 1, 2, 3, the carbon carrying the functional group will be carbon 2. Counting from here, 1, 2, 3, the carbon carrying the functional group is still in carbon 2. So we simply have the OR is in carbon 2. Can we say 2 OR? Yes, to show that the OR is in carbon 2, the position of the functional group. The next one says, is there any branch carbon? Here, there is no branch carbon. So the next one is combine. So we simply have prop and 2OR. That's what we have. That is simply prop 2OR or propan. Because alkane and OH functional group, propan 2OR. This is the name. Now, what if it had a branch? Let's say CH3 here. If it has a CH3 here, it simply means that we have a methyl group, and this methyl group is in carbon 2. So you have 2 dash methyl propan 2OR. That is the basis. So now there is hydrogen here. Look at something. What if we have CH3 here? If you have CH3 here, you can simply rewrite this to give you C, H, H, and H. The longest chain becomes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In that case, it is no longer prop. It becomes butan or but, giving us butan 2OR or but 2OR. Then if there's this is here and there's another CH3 here, then the position is still carbon 2. It becomes 2 methyl butan 2OR. So these things are the same. Nothing special, nothing big. So just to have knowledge of what we've done so far, know how to add the alkane group, methyl group, methyl, ethyl, or any alkyl group at all. So with that, you name the compound. For example, look at the next one. The functional group is OH, so it is an arcanol. So it will simply end in OL, suffix. And the longest chain, which is the second check, A, B, C, D, E, is 1, 2, 3, 4. So but or butan. Now, let's number the carbon. The functional group is here and here. So starting from here is obviously the bright numbering. There is no brainer. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking at this, in carbon 1, we have an O group or OH group. It's something like this. It is the same. So we have 1 O. In carbon 2, we have another O. So 2 O. Now that we have O and O times O is what? Diol. So diol. So 1, 2 diol. That's basically it. So this one is not the advanced form of this suffix, and it is a butane. It is simply but 1, 2 dash diol or butan 1, 2 diol. That is the name of this. What if there were a CH3 here? If there's a CH3 here, it means this is carbon 3. We have 3 methyl. What if there were another CH3 here? CH3. It means we have another 3 methyl. So can we say 3 3 dimethyl with 1 2 O. Yes. So the length should not confuse you. Just know what you are doing. Life will become very sweet. What if you had something like this? The methyl group is here, CH3. This means we have one methyl group in carbon 3, we have another one in carbon 2. This will simply be 2, 3 dimethyl butan 1 2 diol. Simple. Now if you have something like this, 1 2 3, and the OH is here, hydrogen, 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 this is simply propan 1 O or prop 1 O, and it is the same thing as propanol. Since it is in carbon 1, you may choose to remove the 1 to have propanol or 1 propanol. That is correct. This is disguising. Looking at this compound, every other thing is hydrogen. This is the reason they ignored it. Secondly, take note of here. Single bond to oxygen to hydrogen. This represents OH group. Arcanol. This is another OH group. So we have all as the surface, but this time we'll certainly arrive at diol since we have 2 all. Now let's count. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now anyhow you choose to count, 1 2 3 4 5, the longest carbon chain is 7. And what is 7? Hept. Surface. The next is number the carbons. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, or 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now if you are going with this numbering, the functional group with the lowest number will be on carbon 2. If you are starting this way, the functional group with the lowest number will be on carbon 4. So we choose this one that gives us the lowest number. So this means on carbon 2 we have 2 odd. Then going this way, carbon 4 we have 4 odd, meaning we have diol like already identified, and they are in the position 2, 4 diol. So we already have this in mind. Surface, we know that it is a hept since we have 5 carbon. What else? Branch carbon. Yes, there is a branch carbon. And what is the branch? This is the branch, and this is C2H5. Methane is C2H6, meaning this is methane minus 1. This is ethane is C2H6. This is C2H5, which simply implies ethane minus 1 hydrogen. What does that give us? Ethyl. And what is the position of the ethyl going with this numbering? It is on carbon 3. So we simply have 3 ethyl. Don't mind me. 3 ethyl. What else? 3 ethyl hept dash 2,4 diol, combining hept 2,4 diol, 3 ethyl. 3 ethyl hept 2,4 diol. That is the name of this arcanol. Now look at something else. Pay attention to this. This is very, very important. In fact, this is extremely important. There is something called carbonyl group and carboxylic group. Anytime you have carbon with double bond directly to oxygen in an organic compound or in a structure, that is a carbonyl group. For example, here you see carbon double bond to oxygen. This is a carbonyl group. This is a carbonyl group. Now the two major carbonyl groups are arcanants and arcanones. Arcanone. So this is an aldehyde, and this is ketone. Now, what is now the difference between aldehyde and ketone since they are both in carbonyl or since they are both carbonyl compounds? It is simple. Once the C with the double bond to oxygen is at the extreme, is at the end, it is an alkyl or aldehyde. When the carbon with double bond to oxygen is not at the extreme or at the end, if it's at the middle or one of the carbons in the middle, it is simply a ketone or alkanone. That is the difference between alkananes and alkanone. One of the difference or how to identify them. For example, look at this. Carbon double bond to oxygen. This is the last carbon. So if it were at the beginning, it's starting or it's ending, so long as at the terminal, we say it is an alkyl or aldehyde. And what is the functional group? Al. Ketone, O-N-A. This is a perfect example. Carbon to double bond, O, but it is not at the end. It is inside of them at the middle. So this is an alkanone. So both alkananes and alkanones are carbonyl compounds. Now, carboxylic group is somehow close to the carbonyl compound, but there is a difference. In carboxylic group, the carbon is not just bonded to oxygen, it is also bonded to hydroxy group on the other hand. Look at this. So you see, double bonds to O, then to OH. OH simply means hydroxy group. So in this case, this is a carboxylic group. That is the difference between carbonyl and carboxylic group. Looking at this, here there is oxygen at the middle, then carbon, double bond to oxygen. So this is entirely different. This is an ester. You see the naming of ester later. It's usually ethyl ethanoate. So alkyl and the other branch of it, which is the noate group. Now, how do we name this? With this, the functional group is Al, alkanal, like we already have here. CHO. Alkanone, CO, it's already here. Carboxylic group, COOH, carboxylic group. Then this is esters. We know that the functional group is alkanone. Identify the functional group, Al. What is the longest carbon chain? This is simply a straight chain compound, and we have 3 carbon. So surface are prefix, prop, or propan. What else? What is the position of the functional group? It is simply in carbon 1. So that is why it is an aldehyde in the first place. So the R is in 1R. So the R is on carbon 1 because when you name the carbon 1, 2, 3, this is the correct naming because you give this carbon the lowest number, 1R. So what else? Combining, you simply have propan 1R or prop 1R. And like I told you earlier, since it's on carbon 1, you need not put the 1. Simply say propanal. Simple. It shows that it is on carbon 1. On the other hand, this is an alkanone. So the longest chain is 4, but. So we have, and counting the carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this gives the functional group or the carbon with the functional group the lowest number, 2. So we have but 2, carbon 2, ol, O-N-E, or butan 2 ol. So this is the suffix ol. For here is R. So propanal, butan 2 ol or but 2 ol. Look at something. If there were CH3 here, this will simply be 3-methyl but 2 ol. If there's another CH3 here, it will simply be 3,3 dimethyl but 2 ol. Then here, around here, we now choose to put C2H5. It will simply be 4-ethyl, 4-ethyl dash 3,3 dimethyl but 2 ol. So anyhow you manipulate it, you will just get the answer. It's understanding that matters. Likewise, if you put CH2 here, this becomes CH3 rather 2-methyl propan-1-A or 2-methyl propan-A. It is that simple. Now, carboxylic acid, the name usually ends with oic acid. This is the end. So this is COOH. It's simply a carboxylic acid. And what is the longest chain? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So paint, prefix, suffix, oic acid. It's in carbon 1. So it's not we need not add the 1. This is simply pentanoic acid. Simple. Pentanoic acid. So you can add branches to have 3-methyl, 4-methyl, or ethyl, or any other functional group. You can manipulate it anyhow it goes. Follow the procedure. Functional group, longest carbon, number the carbon, is there any branch chain, combine. This is an ester. If you remember my homologous series, I gave you the general way for ester. Esters, they have 2 alkyl group. Now, you see something like this. Carbon, single bond to oxygen and double bond to oxygen. This is the alkanoic group. How do you name esters? You pick out the first alkyl group, then you name the second alkyl group, then you add noate to it. It ends with noate or OAte. OAte. Look at it. Here is methyl. So methyl. Here is 1, 2, 3 prop. Methyl propanoate. Simple. If this were something like this, let's say C. So here will be H, H, and H. Here is ethyl. So ethyl propanoate. If here is another carbon, it will be ethyl butanoate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. So ethyl butanoate. If here is 3 carbon, here will be propyl butanoate. So that is how you name it. You name the first one, you name the second set, add OAte to it. So that is it on the major ones. For amines, amines, I've already given you the functional group. Just name them along. So that is it. No, the next set of videos I've prepared is to treat each of the functional groups separately. I'll teach alkanes, their preparation, reaction, properties, more of the structures, everything about them. Carboxylic acid, the same thing. Alkanones, the same thing. All of them, I'll take them one and treat everything about them and more structures. So I hope you understand these general explanations. And the last thing I will do for you before I leave is to give you some compounds and their trivial names. Here are a few organic compounds and their trivial names or common names. Now, ethanoic acid is also called acetic acid as a trivial name. Instead of saying ethanoic acid, I simply say acetic acid. Then propanone is also referred to as acetone. Ethine is also referred to as acetylene. Ethene is also referred to as ethylene. Now, toluene, which is benzene derivative, the IUPAC name is methylbenzene. So toluene is simply the trivial name. And trichloromethane or tetrachloromethane is referred to as chloroform. Isoprene, this is referred to as isoprene. CH2, double bond to C, branch CH3, CH, and CH2. You can name that compound. This should be double bond. So that is isoprene. So that's basically it. See you in the next video.